Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode of Once Upon a Van Life. We're back and we're going to tell you about a few places that we visited that we really liked. We're going to tell you how we went to Ottawa and the Nicholson Locks in Ontario.
And we went to Montreal and Mount Royal Park. That was really awesome. And
then we went to Gaspe, which was super beautiful. And
beautiful.
We'll tell you a little bit more about that. And also, we have another story from the road here for you. So let's get into it.
All right, guys. So the first place we visited, we wanted to tell you about in this video, was Ottawa. And we stayed at the Vimy Ridge Brewery, which was fantastic. We got some of their beers. They were really great. We used our Harvest Host Pass again. Great thing if you're traveling. Look it up online for sure. And it actually had a really nice view, contrary to just being a little parking lot in the middle of the city. It was awesome. It had a beautiful view of the city when the sun went down, and it was really, really nice. And it happened to be butted up right against Little Italy, and we wanted to eat out that night, which worked out in our favor. And we had some really good pizza, eh, Josh?
Yeah, it was one of those fire stone kind of pizzerias. I can't remember the names, like Frank's or something like that. Yeah. But maybe we'll tell you on the next one.
Roberto's? Might have been
Roberto's. It was really close to where we were. But we also, it was kind of hot when we got there, so we just went to Remick Rapid Park, which is on the Ottawa River, and we spent some time there. It was super nice. We probably went back there like 3 or 4 times to have our breakfast and just hang out and take Hendrix to the lake. When we were there, there was this guy who's been doing this for like 30 or 40 years. He goes there
every day
in the summer, and he takes these rocks and he builds these stone kind of models. And at the end of every season, they take them down, and then when summer starts again, he goes
to build
and
them
he
all
builds them all again, and
it's cool.
It's pretty cool. We'll show some pictures.
I think he said 35 years he's been going like every day all summer. He was easily 75 years old. We saw him.
He was there,
boots,
he was there, and he was very
really cool.
He was like, it was crazy because he was just putting so much thought into it, and just watching him do it was like this guy just like loved doing it, so that's why he did it. He wasn't getting paid to do it.
He was an artist.
So that was very cool, and Ottawa was Hendrix's first time in a big city. Unfortunately, we couldn't walk around too much because, like I said, it was too hot.
Yeah, it was close to 40 degrees.
Other than that, it was definitely a nice little stop in Ottawa. So
it was awesome.
Yeah. All right, so after Ottawa, we headed to the Nicholson Locks, which is kind of between there and Kingston, and we found out that you can actually stay there for free at some of the locks on the Rideau there, and it was super awesome. Like, they actually had these like little tent cabins there that you could rent. Not that we really,
I think they're called
Tentic, yeah. Not that we really needed it because we have a van, but they have a shower there, water. You could like do your dishes there.
Showers, hot showers, free hot showers.
Yeah, and it's awesome too because we woke up and there was like this kayak canoe race that was going from Kingston to Ottawa in a day, and they had to kind of like
come in the kayak.
Yeah, and then like portage.
Yeah.
Up the river, and they probably did that like at every lock. So that was pretty cool to see. But also the boats going in and out of the locks was pretty cool. So
some really big like yachts and stuff, like incredible. I can't even imagine what they would cost. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful boats.
Yeah, it was a good little surprise to wake up to. So
yeah, it was really fun.
Locks, we went to Montreal to visit a friend of mine, and unfortunately it was very, very hot. Again, we stayed, we got a KOA campground just outside of Montreal, which is awesome, and drove into the city there. It was, once again, it was very hot. Like, the dog he was dying, but luckily when we got to hang out with our friend, he had a little bit of AC, so it kind of helped. But before that, we went to Mount Royal, which is an amazing park.
Huge.
Yeah, right in the middle of the city. Like, basically, it's like a mountain in the middle of the city. And we just went and hung out there in some shade, and that was super nice. After the next day, before we headed away from Montreal, we went back and went there in the morning, and
there's like a big pond and a mountain you can climb and a lookout. It's really big too. Like, it's like Central Park in New York City. It's smack in the middle of the city, which is the craziest thing. It's just this massive green space, eh? Mm-hmm. And for like $13 to park for the afternoon, like, it's pretty reasonable. I think. Yeah, pretty reasonable in the scheme of parking.
Lots
in the
of
city.
Shade and stuff. Like we said, it was really hot, so we didn't get to go to any really other spots or walk around Montreal or go to some other parks. But I think what we're going to do is on our way back from being out east, we're going to go and hit all those spots in Quebec where we missed, because as we were heading out east too, we didn't really go to Quebec City, but we have a little
we skipped Quebec City for a reason.
Yeah,
but
we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But anyway, here's some stuff from Montreal.
So I want to just give you a little intro to this. We left Montreal and we tried to go to the eastern townships where Josh's family is from, do a few things around there. He wanted to kind of relive his childhood a little bit, which was really nice. But by noon, which was about 4 hours after we got there, when we left Montreal, the temperature had hit 40 degrees. Hendrix couldn't go anywhere. Josh was sweating. We were uncomfortable, and we kind of decided, forget it, we're heading east. We knew the temperature would drop, and so here's a little clip for you. Hey guys, so we give up. We left Montreal and Cowansville area this morning. We are just driving north at this point. We're, well, northeast, I guess. We're heading towards Gaspe. It's 40 plus degrees out with the humidity
everywhere.
The dog is dying. Josh is dying. So we decided we're just going to drive as far as we can today before we give up. We've got a full fridge of groceries because the temperature drops about 4 hours from here. Literally, you watch it go down as you go towards Gaspe as soon as you hit past Quebec City. So we are just going long haul today, and wish us luck. So that day we drove about 7.5 hours. It was with a few stops, of course, with the dog, and I mean, I pee like every 2 hours. We drove until almost 9 o'clock that night, till we hit a Walmart. Basically, the temperature finally started to come down. I think that night we hit about 26 degrees, which at least we could sleep in, which was really awesome. In Rivière de Loup, we made it to, and actually the next morning got up and went to this amazing waterfall and had breakfast. Again, right in the middle of the city. There's just this caveat of cliff and a waterfall, and oh, it was beautiful.
It was amazing. The whole town was like built into the hill, and the crazy thing is we didn't get any pictures of this, but when we got to the Walmart there was probably 50 campers there.
It was like a
I don't
campground.
know if you guys know, but you can stay at Walmart for free if you have an RV or whatever. It was too dark. We couldn't we didn't get any good pictures of it, but there was so
there
many.
was 50 or 60 campers.
It was pretty cool, but yeah, nice little town. And then we started to head towards
Gaspe,
and that was like that drive out there, like holy, like
blew me out of the water.
That's a trip. If just doing that,
drive Highway 132 from Montreal basically all the way through to Gaspe. It is one of the most beautiful drives you'll see. It literally stands up to BC, Alberta, the Yukon if you've been there. It is mountains and cliffs and ocean waves. It is unreal, eh, hun?
It's beautiful. I didn't expect that for some reason.
In Quebec, I guess we were both a bit naive. We didn't realize.
Yeah,
eh?
I didn't think it would start to really look like the East Coast yet, with all the little towns and
the little multicolored cottages.
Just beautiful,
so
like bigger towns, but then like 20 small towns, and then you could just like we actually stopped at a little campsite because the camping is way better out there than on Ontario. You can get like basically they kind of hold like just sites for people, but
drive up
for like $40 we got power, water, and internet, and there was like showers and everything. And
we did laundry. It was awesome.
In Ontario that would have been like $90 one night. So the camping out here is definitely way better.
And it was like across the road, but you literally could like see the ocean from our campground. And there was this big harbor we walked to in the morning. It was cool. It was cool. And then from there on, like every time we turned, it was just a mountain or like this beautiful cliff. Like it was so cool.
We were driving basically to go to Gaspe. We had to like kind of cut across like the peninsula part, and it was like just mountains. It was raining so hard. It was amazing. We had to keep going up these like really steep hills, like in a van that's kind of heavy, and the angles are like almost 45 degrees. You just, for like 10 minutes, you're going on an incline. I was kind of like, ooh, this is
Let's put it this way. She was working so hard, by the time we got to the top of the mountain, we had to stop because our diesel engine fluid light had come on. So, luckily, we carry it with us at all times, so that was okay.
It was definitely worth it, because once you kind of like come through that and get to Gaspe, it's like, holy cow, it's a little town built in this like
cove.
I honestly, it was raining and dark when we went there, so once again we didn't get too many pictures of the town. But the next place we went to was the Farillian National Park to go camping.
Unreal. Like I thought I'd seen some cool campgrounds. Like in Ontario, we loved Iver Huron, we loved Killbear, that was right on Georgian Bay, but this was right on the ocean. Like there was seals just swimming around.
The beach was this big kind of rocked beach, which like it's funny. Hendrix so into it. It's weird. He doesn't really. He's not a swimmer, but he loves going to the beach. As long as he doesn't have to go in the water. If he goes in the ocean, it's crazy. He's just smelling everything. And the mountains, I kept saying to Sam, like this looks like Jurassic Park, like where they filmed Jurassic Park, like.
Because everything's covered in like this really like bright green moss and like it was just incredible. And the park is much like Algonquin. We told you, once you enter, everything is extremely well marked. So there's signs saying like, go here to the grocery store, go here to a lookout, here to a waterfall. They were all in French, which did kind of get to us when we were trying to find our campground. We ended up on the wrong side of the peninsula, but it was an adventure. It was good. But the most beautiful campground I've ever gone to in my life. And again, like $40 a night for everything.
And
like,
it was
everything.
It was so much cooler there too. Like like Hendrix was just, you could just see the smile, because we could actually
17 degrees.
We could go for a walk that wasn't like 2 minutes for him to take a pee and then try and get out of the shade.
We did like another 6 kilometers.
He was enjoying it, so it was that was really nice. And then after that amazing little experience, we ended up driving back
up Highway 132
Highway 132 to kind of go to this little cottage.
It was so cute.
Montage and Madeline, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Pardon my terrible French pronunciation, but it was just this little cottage that was like right on the ocean.
They had like 6 cabins, about 4 campsites down on the water, and then a bunch of trailers actually that have been done out with big glass doors that you could rent. Those are really cool.
And once again, the beach was kind of all rocks, but Hendrix was so into that too.
And a food truck with like chowder and all the stuff that you want when you're sitting beside the ocean. We didn't get any because we don't really eat a lot of meat, but it was a cool place for $110 $50 a night, I think.
Yeah, it was nice to, just get out of the van for a little bit and lay in an actual bed. And once again, I had Wi-Fi and a stove, so we could,
Yeah, we made French fries and egg rolls and
more,
a bunch of stuff pizza
stuff
that we
can't
don't get
usually
to make.
but
vegetable stock.
Super nice. And then so after that, we started heading
out east
to New Brunswick, but that'll be the next episode. So
yeah, you gotta wait for that because we're actually sitting out there right now. But hence the toque and the long clothes. It's cold and we're loving it. So that'll be next to come.
And here's some pictures from Gaspe.
So the last thing we've got for you this episode, of course, is a story from the road. This one's short and sweet, but pretty funny if you ask me. We had just gotten to the cabin in Gaspe, and we were kind of lavishing in the Wi-Fi and having 2 beds. So we were each laying in our own bed, and you could see the beds right from the door when you walked in. It's like a little 1-room cottage. Everything's all together. And we're just laying there and the window's open because you can see the ocean. And all of a sudden I see this guy who had just checked into the room next to us because there's like 3 all attached with a shared porch. He's standing in front of our window, like on our porch. And I thought, well, maybe he's just taking a picture of the ocean because we were the closest to the ocean. We had kind of the best view.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking, oh, he's just taking a picture or whatever. And then he turns around and just walks right into our cabin.
And we're like.
And it was this really awkward, like it must have been 5 or 10 seconds of like him staring at us, and we're each laying in bed with our phones. Thank God nothing else was happening. And we're there looking at our phones, and I look at him and he looks at me, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Wrong house." And he just turns around and walks out and shuts the door. It was really funny.
And we were like, okay.
It was so random. I think he was super embarrassed because Josh went out with the dog like half an hour later. And
actually, every time he saw him out, just like, hey,
so sorry.
Hey.
I'm so sorry I did that.
We're like, it's cool, man. They all look the same.
It was a moment. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So short and sweet, but that's this week's story from the road. All right, guys. Well, that's episode 3 of Once Upon a Van Life. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe below. That really helps us out. And here's some more from Ottawa, Montreal, and Gaspe.
Peace.
See you later.